Hi friends, welcome to my channel and to my island, Stone Free. I've recently flattened my island and so I've got a lot of big builds to do, and today I wanted to take you through a marketplace speed build. This is my first long form video on YouTube, so I really hope you enjoy it. I'm looking forward to taking you through some more builds as well, but let's jump into it. This is the area that we're working with. Pretty big. I've left myself plenty of space because I often think I run out. Let's get started with some paths. I cut a lot of this out just to spare you the boring detail. There's a lot of brick that goes down here. And I end up changing it anyway later on, so take a minute to talk to SPEEDBUILD, one of my favourite villagers of all time. Here's the pathing done. Here I am putting out all of the stalls. So I customized these ahead of time. I knew that I wanted some to be round a corner, some to be too wide for one stall, and some on their own. But I couldn't remember which ones were which in my pocket, so I had to get them all out to have a look. And I have a similar issue with the panels here. Can't remember which is the potted plant shelf that I want here. I wanted this one to be like a little plant stall. I'm adding some tables and boxes around so that I've got a little bit of extra surface to put some decorations on. It was so hard to decide what stalls I wanted. I felt like I wanted so many. I could have carried on building this all day and have it cover my whole island. Let me know, do you have a marketplace on your island? If so, what stalls did you decide to go for? I'm really intrigued. No matter how long I play this game for, I still can't get it into my head which way to move the Joy-Cons to flip stuff around the way that I want. Moving these around to fit around the corner. This causes me a lot of grief in the end. This gets moved so many times, and the same with this part that I'm doing now. I wanted this to be like a little hot food stall, the one with the storefront at the back. But yeah, it gave me a lot of grief actually, trying to get everything lined up because I wanted the stall around the corner, which ends up being a newspaper stand, and then this hot food stall to match up so that I could put a party lights arch in the center as like a little entrance. But then I also needed enough space behind the hot food stall to have like a little seating area. I did have a rough plan for the build, obviously which stalls I wanted and the rough configuration of things, but as you can tell I didn't have a very detailed plan because there's a lot of areas where I'm moving the camera up and down to see what I've done, long pauses where I'm just thinking. I feel like if there was sound on this video you would be able to hear my cogs going. Moving this around again, it's not the last time that it gets moved as well. I just couldn't figure it out properly. I think it's because one is vertical and then one's horizontal. Like I just felt like my eyes couldn't see whether it was level or not. Moving these up to make sure that I have enough space to put the seating area down and also to fit in this little wooden box. Again, it's just another surface to put decorations on. I feel like decorating with items is my favourite bit, so I like to give myself lots of space. It's one of those times where I'm thinking about what I'm doing, I'm just running backwards and forwards, gosh. I decided that this was a little bit too wide, so I brought it in a little bit. Not too much, because for the store that's facing inward, I wanted there to be brick where somebody would stand, but it was just a little bit too wide really for what I needed it for. And like I said, I do want to fit a path down the side, so I didn't want it to be huge to the point where you can't see when you're walking down the path next to it, because there are a couple of trees in the way. This is me looking through my item forest. I don't know whether anybody else does this, but when I'm doing a build, I get out all of the items that I think I might use and then just put them all on the floor, because I feel like when I'm looking through my storage, after a while, I can't really see anything, if that makes sense. Like, I've looked through so many items that things don't stand out to me. So normally I'll go through the storage a couple of times, pull out some stuff and drop it all on the floor. To be honest, I don't know whether it makes it easier or not, because then I'm constantly running to this little forest of leaves that I've created, hovering over them all, trying to figure out what's what. Oh, I decided that I wanted to put some tables or a counter down behind here so that there's more space for items. I really love the food items in Animal Crossing. I think that they're so cute, so I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of space. And I wanted to use the espresso machine item for this as well. Just checking that I had another table to go alongside. I wanted to use the espresso machine item in this build, and I thought if I put it on the stall, it might obstruct the view a little bit. Add in a little street lamp. I'm moving this because I wanted to make sure that it was aligned with both the entrances to the marketplace. Popping down a little party lights arch. One of my favorite items in the game. I feel like I put these everywhere. Oh, this causes me some trouble as well. If you can notice, it's not like an equal gap. So I moved that party lights arch backwards and forwards so many times, trying to figure out which way it would look the best. In the end, I kept it like that because I end up putting a little wooden stool outside the hot food stall. Oh no, me kicking away the path. I hate it when that happens. Like, you realize that you have to move everything around and then you accidentally kick stuff away that you've just laid down. Not my favorite. It happens all the time though. I'm so clumsy. Putting that stool down. And another street lamp. I wanted to put a bench in between these, a little bit of extra seating, and add a bit of interest to the middle, because I thought the middle was looking quite blank. My favourite bit, decorations. Adding some bits and bobs onto the stall. I love those little starter plants. I think they're so sweet. Adding another plant partition, I think, here. I realised that it didn't look very even. Adding some items to the bakery. Making sure that I can fit in everywhere as well. For the most part, when I do builds like this, I like to make sure that you can actually get everywhere and get behind stalls, etc. There's only one in this build that you can't, but yeah, for the most part, I like to get behind there. It's cute for pictures and you can pretend that you're working in there. I really hope my villagers use this area. I think they would look so cute sat at the counter with a little bowl of food. this bit I wanted to be a newspaper stand. I wanted it to be around the corner in case you wanted to get a paper just when you were passing by. I added some books as well as just the recycled paper bundles because I thought it might look a bit boring if it was just those. And then this one I made a little pottery stall with an unglazed dish set and a pot. Having a little look at what we've done so far. Adding some items to these tables so that it looks lived in. And then I like to add garbage cans around if it fits in a build, just because I always do need them and it's handy to not have to put them in my pockets and stick them all over the place all the time. Adding some bushes to cover up the bottom of that partition. I realised I didn't have as many grown bushes as what I actually needed, so I had to go to Harv's Island and get some replenishments. Trying to figure out the spacing. It always amazes me in this game how nothing can be close together. In my head there was loads of space for a bush to go behind where that last hole was, but no. Forbidden by the game. This is the last bit that I'm trying to figure out how it can fit and line up properly. I'm pretty pleased with how this bit turned out, but I ended up having to go back and add some cobblestone so that both of the entrances match. So I had to take a bit more of that brick in again. Some last minute move arounds. I think I put a glass jar here instead. Bitsy in the background, is that what her name is? Bitsy. What villages do you guys have on your island? Let me know. I don't have all of the ones that I really want yet, but I'm really just focused on building stuff at the minute. I feel like villagers will come later. And that's it. Let's have a little walk around. I hope that you really enjoyed watching this. I really enjoyed the build, and I'll see you next time.